to try and get like that really good entry onto site. There's going to be a lot of pressure, I think, on Badison, more so with the fact that Oasis has shifted over to that smokes role here for Blue Water, and those flashes are going to be really important for the retakes here for Blue.
Yeah, and I will mention, and I'm glad that you brought that up. You know, I didn't really say it specifically, but Oasis on the Jet last night, this is a brand new composition in the mix here for what Blue Water are trying to do. So for two teams who have found a lot of success on this map, a very unique look here for Blue Water trying to change things up. First blood already tallied for WADA. Sin in a little bit of trouble. I will say Sin was unbelievable last night, being able to hold on to sites defensively, but that was in a different role pretty much at this point. Australis will get a second elimination. That's over on A long at range with the classics. So now it's floodgates open as the execute towards A is on the way.
It's going to be so imperative that Badison's able to get at least one.
Oh, how about more than that? Able to find two, but stunned up. Can't find an opportunity to shoot at the third. Juna right there, and Buddy B from behind, no problem. WADA comfortable in the opening pistol.
Yeah, I think having the Blue Water players kind of go down one by one in those first two engagements was so tough. Like, you have your smokes player a little bit on an island, and then you have the fact that Avery now down, not going to be able to provide that information for Blue Water on that retake. And Blue Water, now they're going to look forward to round 3, right? That's the expectation for WADA. It's a very comfortable purchase that you have there. Bunny Bee, Neon, Bucky, something that I never want to see in my lobby personally. Like, she's an absolute menace, and it looks like Blue are going to opt for that mid walk.
Yeah, may as well try to just overwhelm and take a weapon away. You can see at the moment there is a trademark to alert the defense of this case of what's happening. Juna is able to take down 2. Buddy B a third. Standing. Last one to stay alive would be Avery inside a window. And it looks like WADA is pretty aware. A couple outlaw shots just kind of hitting the shoulder of Avery, who will not have a chance to take down Australis. Not a full flawless thanks to Juna dropping, but a very clean round overall, and the bonus will be heavy for WADA in round 3.
Yeah, quite comfortable. And at the very least for Blue, the fact that they don't really buy up into any pistols even, I think is so important when you know Starbound is going to have that outlaw online into this round here as well. No one's going to be one shot, which is definitely going to be huge. I think that now taking a look at how Blue are opting to set up, it's going to be that classic KJ leaning over towards that left side of the map. More of a stack over here at A, going for a bit of that aggression to maintain control of a lobby and see what information Blue can find.
Bunny just going to take the scope and see if there's a little bit of a walk-down opportunity for Power Pixel to threaten C. Trademark watching the flank through A main, which Blue Water has put in some significant presence on right now, but have not pushed through that as of yet. Aldrone to lead you to believe that this will be a C execute. Fast lane trying to block. No presence on that long flank yet. Aldrone very passive from Blue Water just to double check to make sure no one's hanging around. But this is going to be a 5v5 post plant. And again, with things like shotguns and SMGs in the hands, WADA's going to be feeling pretty good about this, especially with a headshot landing earlier for Bunny B.
Just quite a bit of a long rotation here for the rest of the players on Blue Water as well. Really delaying this retake and allowing WADA to set up very comfortably in this plant.
Yeah, this has been very apprehensive for Blue Water. May's able to take down 1, make it a second. Wow, random shot from Oasis will land. So now an opportunity to try to jump on towards this. Smoke blocking the entryway as Starbound's trying to snipe this. Juna from behind him to find 1, Starbound another, but not more. So the bonus was significant, but the weapon's just a little bit too much better rather, for Blue Water as they get on the board.
Nicely done for them. A little expensive, all things considered. Luckily, Badison gets away with the skin of their teeth there. For the side of WADA, they got to be relatively happy with how that bonus ends up panning out there as well. They managed to get that spike plan to get the 3 picks there as too. I think for Blue Water, though, solid look so far. You know, it's not like we're seeing WADA run away with these rounds by any means, which I think is a really good sign when you take into consideration the last time these two teams faced off, how dominant that first map was for the side of WADA and what that can mean for that team's momentum. Blue Water are definitely holding steady for now.
I agree. But the power position of Starbound on a scope is often what WADA has kind of, I won't say like heavy leaned on, but it's a staple of what they do. Decoy out will bait out the opening shot, and that's an angle cleared. That Blue Water will walk down at A long. And it looks like WADA may attempt to try to re-clear this. Another deep owl drone going to be sent out. Counter on the way, and we'll see if there's any actual action here as the defense has been scouted.
I like the toxic screen popping up there as well, like denying any sort of push from a short in that moment too. This is an important fight towards garage.
No peeking.
Oasis almost caught with utility out, but able to find damage onto one, plus of course the elimination in hand. Sin, Judge, able to chunk out one, shots to the other, even better. Now to the pistol, not going to be able to find Power Pixel for any damage whatsoever. So 3v2 situation with Starbound on just an operator is going to be in some trouble. Power Pixel for what would be a 1v3. Has a plant available and the Hunter's Fury for the post plant if they can manage it. Backing away, Badison, who often had been playing the chamber prior, finds themselves in a very tough 1v1. Now it's just down to the timing here versus Avery, and Power Pixel was looking back towards screens. And Blue Otter, big round there, get us tied at 2.
Really huge picks also to be had by those eco weapons over in garage, over towards C long. Like the fact that Sin is able to solidify 2 kills there is what turns that around into Blue Otter's favor. Without those 2 picks, things definitely look a lot more dangerous when it comes down to who would have been up, the space that could have been taken by WADA. I like what we're seeing from both sides so far to those shift. You see like that green light from the players on Blue Otter to have Avery and Badison pushing up towards A long after pushing the op off the angle, and then after that the fact that you have the re-clear coming out from WADA with that drone as well. The maintenance of this control of these areas of the map has been really nice to see from both teams.
Go, go, go.
Got ourselves just a hero rifle here for Bunny B. Hunter's Fury still available. Starbound an orb or an elimination away from getting the tour de force, which could be all you might need. Here's the first entry. Bunny B not able to get the better of Oasis, so 5v4 early. Starbound is able to find the tour de force. Kill contract will be sent out. Avery still hanging for now. May be able to take down Australis. That's an unfair fight with the weapons. Same can be said for that one there at Sewers. So all things told, pretty comfortable stuff here for Blue Oasis. Only dropping Sin thanks to Starbound's tour de force, which is still out and active.
Oh, but you know Starbound, even in a 1v3 situation, they're always able to make some sort of magic happen. It's going to be key for Blue not to give these ones away.
Do not peek! Do not peek! Do not peek! What are we doing? We've got a 1v4 now down to a 1v2. 35 seconds on the clock.
30 seconds
Also,
left.
keep in mind, Starbound still has all 8 shots of the Headhunter, and if you've watched Starbound play Chamber, which is every time, all the time, always, that is an option if things get a little bit mixy. And how about it? Starbound's going to get the plant and have a chance to set up the 1v2 on their terms.
10 seconds left.
Gonna be curious to see what the positioning is. See, Starbound also does have no they have no idea where these 2 Blue Otter players are. It's gonna be a long rotation from that A side, comfortable.
Oh man.
The push out, knives out. They don't have to worry for Starbound about that clove because Oasis did die on that A site, so no concern about any smokes to allow that defuse to go down. They know that they can hold that scope comfortably once that tap does happen.
There's also no wall for May either, so this is about as free of an angle as it gets for Starbound. Just comes down to the timing, especially with Avery on an Odin. They will be the one initially trying to hop into the fuse. May on the corner. That's too simple. Gets to halfway. Starbound predicts that. As soon as the next toggle comes through, there's going to be a chance, but Avery pops off, finds an off angle. The problem is the time. Starbound will clutch a 1v4, a huge early misstep for Blue Otter.
Absolutely insane there for Starbound. It all falls apart once Badison gets picked off on that A site. Felt so comfortable, and then that rotation just taking so long from the right side of the map to the left. Again, that time just running down on them. Really nicely played there by Starbound. A couple missteps on the side of Blue Otter, now landing them into hot water when it comes to that buy. They're going to be on the pistols now. You have 2 ults to work with here. Might see those get popped depending on if Blue are able to find some sort of...
Early walk up for May, not going to work out. May also, I got to give some credit, was insane yesterday on this map defensively. But That was on the Omen, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Memory doesn't always serve me right, but got a new composition for Blue Water. Hanging early for now. Much better defensively to this point. Avery, a little bit of a aggressive foul drone. Prediction here on Sin is good. And the limited purchase for Blue Water is being swatted away with some conviction here for WADA. A flawless round will come through.
Really nicely done there. I mean, just about as like what you kind of expect, right? Was a little bit surprised by that mid walk down since there was that lack of support for May going for that window angle. Not really any cover on any of like the walk-ups, whether it was from grass or that window peak, but now we've got, you know, full utility online. You've got plenty of ults to cycle through here on the defender side as well. They'll still go for that aggressive mid-window peak. It might look to try and get that Hunter's Fury off over in A lobby. It's going to go blind, actually. 10-59 getting that off.
Oh, and that's going to work out a little bit of isolation here at mid. Bunny able to shut down the double tap plus extra, but as he pulls out the finger guns, nothing there. Juna does get 2 in response, though. So heavy action early at mid. Oasis now behind enemy lines, trying to join the Sin. Head has been seen, but Starbound, huge shot. Gives them another chance, but the problem is you just don't expect that Sin walk through C-Long. That was a messy 10-person fight at mid, and Blue Water come away on top.
Hey, it may have been messy, but I think like the ideas were quite solid from the side of Blue Water. Avery looks to gamble the fact that Starbound's likely peeking over towards a lobby, as they typically have done on the attacking side here for WADA, that Hunter's Fury, but then shifts where that is going to be directed based off the information that Badison and May are able to hand over. And great communication on the side of Blue Water for Sin to have that walk down come through off of Oasis's comms. Now, heading into this next round, haven't seen that off get that early value that we've wanted from Starbound these couple of rounds. Blue have adjusted nicely.
How about this? Australis commits to the heaven from the shadows. Badison tagged up, but able to hit the first shot. Teleports back to safety. Blue Water now with numbers, but the post plant aren't going to be set up by Power Pixel. Australis will fall atop at heaven. Defending lockdown could be a problem here for Juna. Needs to make a decision on what they want to do inside this Viper's pit. Owl drone flashes, everything just thrown to Juna's direction, trying to hold them off, who now will be detained. But the snake bite does catch one. A little bit of extra damage on Tomor. Starbound and Power Pixel, last 2 left for the 2v3. Decay has been survived through for Blue Water. This is a very nasty smoke that's taking away the angle from Starbound, who does hit once, but Avery's going to stick, and Blue Water ties up at 4.
Really nice retake coming in. We talked about how the cycling of these ultimates was going to be so important. That lockdown, meaning everything for Blue Water to be able to take that space. The valiant effort from Juna in the Viper's pit to try and delay as much as possible. It just was not comfortable for these blue players to be, or sorry, for the WADA players to repost on those angles. Overall, this is a very back and forth start so far to this series. Like, just trading 2 rounds for 2 rounds here for both of these teams. And Blue Water, since these guns have come to fruition, it feels like they've been definitely a little bit more in control when it comes to some of those retake situations. Absolutely
agreed. So far, this is looking much better than last night. With the new comp, they have not played in competitive action here on Kickoff, which is surprising to say because they have played an absolute metric ton of Haven so far. I'll drone to scout mid. May catch a little bit of info on ISO. Nope, not the case. May will stay incognito, and we'll just get a walk down here for WADA as smoke will embellish the front entryway at B.
A bit of a mid crunch they're looking for right now. Longbot does go down to the shock dart.
A lot of eyes open, but May takes away the angle for a good first blood on Juna. Defense still is trying to stick in, but Badison gets beat to the punch by Bunny Bee. So now the spike should be planted without much concern.
Spike planted.
No ultimate tools for Blue Water to re-clear this. So a very tall ask for the 3v4. Oasis will try to work their way over towards mid doors. Finds the first. Power Pixel looking for potentially a trade, but gets caught on the sideline area over from Connector. Now just down to the 1v1. Starbound misses the first shot. Oasis with the rifle. Looking to get aggressive. Sees the barrel. Has the angle.
Oh.
And with that, the headshot locks. Oh, it's so much better tonight around for Oasis compared to yesterday. Much nicer. Great shot. And Blue Otter take their first lead.
Really nice. A solid Red Bull clutch to come in here for Oasis. Blue Otter, like, they've been putting out some great ideas into the server on this defensive side with this new competition, but not just that shit. It feels like in a lot of these rounds too, we've seen these hero moments that are just able to turn the tide for these Blue Otter players. We've had glimpses of that for the side of WADA as well, but Blue, again, we've talked about how they feel a little bit more in control, especially since they've gone a bit more towards that retake fast flood kind of style here on the defensive side. Now the first timeout's here to be called by WADA.
Yeah, and much needed too. I mean, it's just offensively, they have not really had a clean execute look. You go a couple of rounds ago and their execute was established by Australia, seemingly hit from the shadows up top to heaven, plus you get the early plant, but you're fighting into a 5v4 and against a lockdown, trying to use a deep Viper's Pit to cover you. So full purchase going to be on the way here. And this is a round that I feel like if you're WADA, needs to set up not just what happens here, but needs to set up the rest of the half. Like, honestly, 7-5 is not necessary, but boy, you'd love to have it, especially considering that this comp for Blue Otter is really going to shine, you would think, offensively.
Yeah, it definitely is. Moving away from that jet breach chamber composition here for Blue Otter just allows them to cover so much more ground with this new comp, right? Like the passive utility from Sin's KJ, and then on top of that, the fact that Badison is just able to kind of wander across the map and reposition as needed with that teleport has made such a huge difference for the information that Blue Otter are able to get early on, like this A walk-up that we've seen before from them. And WADA, they have been diligent to consistently re-clear this space after making noise on the other side of the map. But let's see what Blue Otter are able to do.
Yeah, I mean, this is, for WADA, you have to understand that this is a potential, not just because we've seen it before, but because you wanted to play for the Orb at Sea. Walk behind the screen, wide swing for Power Pixel, secures the trade. Badison now hanging with the op inside the site. Help on the way with May, who does have a kill contract. That could very severely stall out this offensive push, depending on who gets caught by it.
They're not expecting Starbound on the right side of short yet. That swing timing could be big.
Nowhere to run!
Here comes the Hunter's Fury to open the doors. May
still able to stay alive in the smoke.
Yeah. Sorry about that. This board just disconnected me. May still alive and kicking nicely. Oasis able to find 2, but May will finish things off. Clean stuff right there. 6-4 the count. Blue Otter surviving with 3 and never had to use the kill contract.
It was comfortable. I think it was great bait there from Badison to TP out. May able to stay alive in that smoke for so long made such a huge difference. And Blue Otter's doing a really good job of like punishing these mid-round executes on the side of WADA. They get that early info that allows that rotation to come in a little bit sooner. WADA still forcing that issue despite cutting that noise over towards the A side. It just wasn't enough of a sell. Now, 3-1-1 split here. Operator's been spotted.
Line shots are not going to land. And WADA are going to have to scramble and flood something, would be, you'd think. Power Pixel with the Marshal. Starbound will commit the tour de force. And we know what they can do with that. Hot hand today to be sure. Oh, that is not okay. Australis just a little shoulder and then a wider peek, able to find the headshot. Kill contract is going to call in the Omen, though. So 1v1 with May. Double tap still alive and active. The shield gets broken, but again, just too much weapon superiority in that 1v1. But look at the space here. Juna's already walked up through sewer, and once there's just a little bit of help, WADA may very well get a free post plant set up here.
Yeah, she's gotten a really good timing, but this mid walk is also going to give Blue Water a lot of nice information. And the fact that that trip
30
has
seconds
started
left.
over towards that C side of the map, it'll be free for Blue to wrap.
Spike planted.
See how things unfold from here. Our Pixel playing up close and personal. ISO making noise from the front, keeping eyes largely away from this play at Sewer. We also have the lockdown for Avery at long. Starbound gets traded. Oasis brought back to life. Caught by Power Pixel. What a shot. Does he get another? No, she does not. Avery able to turn that into 1 plus a second from Sin, and there's no way that Juna could hang first the 3 remaining defenders. So 7-4 the count, 1 to play. Blue Otter looking much better defensively here today.
This comp just looks so much more comfortable for them. The way that they want to play this map looks a lot more comfortable right now on defense for Blue Water. WADA,
Last round.
I gotta give them credit though. It's not like they're doing the same thing every single round and falling prey to Blue Waters like fast floods. They're trying to change things up. They change tempo. You have some faster rounds with Bunny Bee trying to take space a little bit earlier on. You have the fact that they're going for those reclears, getting the information. But Blue Otter have been consistently winning out in those first engagements for the last few rounds now. And that's made like such a big difference in being able to have that numbers advantage and be able to shut down some of those pivots that WADA are trying to throw out.
I am the hunter.
Well, now it's got a do or die time. Early Hunter's Fury thrown over towards C long. And Avery will miss everything. Bunny Bee actually still very aggressive on this angle. Owl Drone just to make sure no one's pushed up. And there's the info that you're looking for. May right there with, just going to take an extra look due to the double tap still being active. And Bunny Bee will throw the fast lane and then get out of there as soon as the spam has ceased. So 5v5 we stay, minute 10 on the clock.
Yeah, our op has been reposted towards the A site though. WADA seem to be aware of that possibility, so instead it's going to be a pivot over towards mid.
Well, there's the action. Blue Aces able to lock things down nicely, trying to force the issue with the shorty. Doesn't fully work out versus Australis, but once more, Starbound finds themselves in a 1v2. Lots of time on the clock, but no spike this time.
Yeah, that makes it a little more awkward. Still, ones to be had though, and you cannot give those away to Starbound.
Again. Oh, stop it. Oh, the scope down at the wrong time. We've got to snipe off. At least for now. Oh, here we go. Starbound going to go to the rifle. Battison gets out of the dimensional drift very early. A couple of the flashes get tossed, but honestly, Starbound is more than fine. So it's all going to come down to timing.
10 seconds left.
Starbound's going to attempt to plant. Angle being held by Battison. Can't find the exit. But we'll know that it's a little bit of a ring around the rosy situation. Starbound checking. Shot lands. And WADA will get 5 with the Red Bull clutch before we swap the side.
Those are situations that Starbound just doesn't lose. You cannot be splitting up against that player. You've got to be holding hands, sticking together, or else they'll do such a good job at isolating those 1v1s. Now, though, I think as we look to swap sides shift, I think that this is a really nice scoreline that Blue Water have gotten themselves, considering their struggle on defense that you were talking about last time around. And now heading into the offense, knowing that Starbound getting that operator online early is such a big part of WADA's defense. The compositional change to have May on this ISO is such a difference maker up against that scope when you have that hard counter with the ISO shield.
Okay. Big pistol here could determine this map maybe a little bit earlier than you would assume if Blue Water can take it. May going quickly, even though the double tap has already expired. For a reset. Spam from the frenzy, holding things back, plus the relay bolt also there. Starbound up top, not noticed whatsoever. But a little bit of trouble here, no more ammunition left. Sin's able to find the trade eventually. Follow-up, looking decent as Australis is able to take one down. But we find ourselves, all things told, ignore the barracks, a 1v2. Juna
Spike planted.
getting into the site, maybe a bit earlier than expected, but Battison locks it down, and Blue Water take the pistol.
Huge pistol to be picking up here on the side of Blue Water. We have to remind ourselves, it's also WADA's map pick to start off this best of 5 series now. Heading into the following round, for the side of Blue Otter, they are going to have that anti-eco that they get to work with here. Expecting them to mostly stick together, not look to give any of those weapons away for free. And for the side of WADA, curious to see what their approach to this eco is going to be.
Shock dart.
Well, for now, action comes to a... Well, there is no action. Very passive start to the round. Flash does have Starbound snapping back into B. Double stack over towards Garage. Walk up for Power Pixel at Sewer. Gives WADA at least a little bit of early information. Well, it's not really even a full walk into Sewer. It's just an angle being held outside the door. So say maybe WADA could use that to assume where Blue Water are going. But for now, everything stays quiet with a minute on the clock.
Yeah, just not looking to give any sort of early pick here. Maybe force Blue Water to use a little bit more of their utility for these clears. Maybe the Owl Drone invested over towards a lobby nobody wants to visit. Short, you know, just in case there's a shorty waiting on the other side. We'll see what Power Pixel is able to relay to the team. Aside from the drone, hasn't heard anything else. That's why you see the stack still on the left side of the map.
30 seconds left.
Well, Power Pixel can get one. That would be insane. Timing awkward, but still works out. That's a weapon that can potentially be collected. Exchange shock dart. So it takes some damage, but is able to confirm the trade and keep the weapon safe. Starbound up top. 2 of the 3 land, but no.
One enemy remaining.
Avery follows up, and WADA looked like they're just a matter of time away before they fall in this anti-eco. And there it is. Avery's able to kick 3, so a couple of ticks away from finding an early Hunter's Fury for Avery, who's let a couple loose already this game. And Blue Otter are up 9-5.
Blue Water, you couldn't want any more than that, right? Like, having the pistol round and then that anti-eco going near flawlessly for this team is just such a great way to start off this second half. Now, as we head into the next round, WADA, we're not going to see that operator come online just yet. Overall, though, a bit of a lack of information. I think that's what makes it a little bit harder for this WADA team. Kind of having to hold these sites with their bodies. Go for a bit of that aggression here like Bunny B.
Timing here, decent for 1, but nothing more. It's a huge weapon collection as well. A Power Pixel there for the trade. Vulnerability comes through. Power Pixel overwhelmed. But on the other side, things continue to build nicely for WADA. 3v2 situation, but most importantly, a 2v2 on towards the A site. Aldrin already taken down. There is the nearsightedness that comes through. A couple of tags land, and Wastralis reconfirms. Finds the shots both onto me and onto Avery, and WADA to keep it within 3.
It's a great paranoia to slow down that push there from Blue Water. They were looking to try to get that timing, but WADA still able to win out on their anti-eco versus the bonus of Blue Otter. I would say it almost did feel like by the skin of their teeth with how that round was transpiring, despite the fact that it still was that 3v2, right? Overall, taking a look at how this ult economy is looking to cycle, we've got 2 away from that Hunter's Fury here for Avery. Let's see that come out this round. That dart actually doesn't scan the walk up there from Bunny B, so this timing.
Yeah, that was very surprising. Aldrone should reveal Madison, or at least push them back. Yeah, really well done to use the Aldrone to either isolate or push them back. So first blood tallied here in a pivotal gun round for WADA.
No, that was really great protocoling out from them. Turn around on the upper angle here. Something that we've seen them play before on that A side. Taking the opportunity to go through the lurk smoke, but doesn't check that left corner. May gonna fall. Things are getting awkward now.
Enemy remaining.
A touch. Australis just goes to town. Headshot after headshot, finding 3 over to C. And WADA now just down 2. A map that we've often seen, dominated by the attack, seems to start trending for the defenders as Blue WADA now find themselves on a, at most, pistol upgrade round.
I'm going to be curious to see if these upper angles for the side of WADA are going to cause a bit more distress for Blue WADA as this second half continues to pan out, because we saw Starbound taking that again over on that A box over at A short, between A short and A long, and then see once again there on that B side. But it's not just Starbound who can take those angles, it's Australis as well with those TPs up. She's able to also kind of draw that crosshair placement away. But the timeout to be called here for Blue WADA for the first time. They're not looking for WADA to get any more of an advantage over them, even though it will be likely some sort of like half buy coming in for the Blue WADA side with their, when all things are considered with that economy. With how these ults are cycling though, again, we're getting close to that Hunter's Fury, now a bit closer to the Dimensional Drift for Badison's Yoru there as well. Definitely key things to look out for depending on how this next round develops for an opportunity for Blue WADA to even maybe take away an eco. We'll have to see.
Facts. Well, timeout will expire here as elected by Blue WADA. And we move into what, yep, you're right, will be, I mean, really, this is kind of a force buy. I mean, with the economy that's left, you're going to be a little bit hard-pressed to do much on the back end of this, pending how the round goes. I think in particular, you really need to get the spike planted for the extra boost of cash. Looks like Avery will be fine for that. And then, as you called it, Ash, that will, of course, mean the Hunter's Fury is also earned with that. All drones exchanged over towards A-Link. Avery, not sure if they see everything, but saw something, I'm sure. And how about this? Blue WADA are going to exit over to garage side, but they lose Sin. So now you have to chasing it down. And WADA, in the meantime, are going to find enough eliminations to repossess the site. Hunter's Fury also off the table with Avery dropping. Down to just what you can get from Badison and May, and the answer is you don't get much. WADA just down 1 now.
It was a really cool idea with how that setup was panning out in the post plant for Blue WADA. You called the fact that they were retaking that garage space, looking for that wrap back around, trying to pinch, help Sin out. But at that point, it was just a little too late. A bit of an overpeak. I think Sin's positioning was so important there. Regardless, as we head into this next round, Operator finally online here for Starbound, right? You've got this player who's just been absolutely insane, so troublesome to deal with. But this compositional change, once again, that Yoru with the flashes, you've got the shield there for May too, can definitely put a bit of a damper on that plan for Starbound at the very least. Even if they're not going to be met with some sort of first engagement, you know they're always good for maintaining control of the area of the map that they're posted up on.
Yeah, absolutely. Dart finds nothing. Power Pixel deletes it really before it even lands on the wall.
Wait.
So now it looks like Blue WADA are going to try to rewrap this, and this stack at C is deadly, to put it plainly.
I know. This is such good bait for Juna's positioning in Cubby right now.
Yeah,
like you see the op get pulled off, you're not really going to expect someone else to walk down.
The dimensional drill will be sent through garage. But like you called, it's perfect bait for Juna. You spin up a web, and it works out nicely. Badison out of the dimensional drift does take down Starbound, but the spike is down at C long. And there's more help here than just what you expect from Juna. Snakebite, just to try to congest this choke point, and Australis will get involved. Oh man, what a plan, what a setup, and what a deterrent. Just taking care of a recon bolt that A forces Blue WADA into the hands of Juna and the defensive C.
That was such a nice round to watch. I just, like you were saying, the setup was perfect. The idea was there. It is unfortunate for Blue WADA that, you know, you have the dimensional drift from Badison actually going through garage instead of finding the information that they would have gotten had they had pushed long instead. Not that the idea was wrong by Blue WADA, but the trap play from WADA definitely reigns supreme in that situation. And that was an important round for Blue Water to win if they wanted to maintain that lead. Right now, tying things up here for WADA, a perfect opportunity to try and take the lead here as well when you look at the difference in weaponry.
Absolutely. A couple of the big tools are nearly online, though, for Blue Water. May not be necessary in this round, especially with Badison already dropping. Power Pixel just guarding the orb. And that pre-fire works out for a very clean first blood. Same can be said, though, on the other side. Viper's Pit close here for Juna. Bunny Bee, you don't expect to see the overdrive unless we're on lower weaponry or if we need to do something crazy. So, pivotal round coming up in round 20. As this one, you would figure, with the numbers and the weapons, should go to WADA. We'll see.
In theory, that is for sure. Timing could be important here for May, but WADA actually aren't going to move an inch, so not going to get to catch anybody off on a rotation just yet, despite this garage presence from these two Blue Water players. We're going to group now. Likely towards A for an execute, but this high-low is deadly.
It really is. Yep. Follow-up utilities to make sure there's no burst behind that little peak. And the defense will restructure a different little stack up on this off angle outside of sewer at A.
Scanning ahead.
10 seconds left.
Close to the corner, gets the lead. Here comes the hit. Wow, overwhelmed. That's a couple of weapons that actually may lead to a post plant that could be pretty significant here with the Hunter's Fury in particular. A little surprised they didn't give the plant to Sin last second just to get the lockdown for some extra effect, but nonetheless, 3v3. Starbound trying to scope things out with the Outlaw up top. Able to connect once. Oh, what a snake bite. Oasis is serious hurt, and Starbound is just going to take care of it themselves. Last one left is Avery inside the Poison Cloud. Also taking a significant amount of decay. And Blue Water had a realistic look at that, but not quite able to get over the finish line for a Thrifty, and WADA will take the lead.
I do want to give them credit for how they did dismantle that high-low situation, though. Like, that dart timing was perfect coming out from Avery, but the retake utility from WADA was so good there. That paranoia paired with that snake bite to ensure that close graffiti could be cleared, it was really nice from them. Just really disallowing any of those crossfires to find any sort of potency there. No contact plays that could be played. With any swings there for the side of Blue Water. Now that lead that we had been talking about coming in for WADA, but you've also got a bunch of ultimates on the line for both of these squads. It could get really interesting depending on what gets utilized in these next couple of rounds.
Agreed. Defense going to take a pretty normal spread here. Australis feeling a little bit of pressure. Paranoia out. Hunter's Fury trying to assist. It lands onto one and connects onto Oasis, a critical member to drop. May has pulled Juna into the kill contract. Very clean, and Australis could only get the opener, nothing behind it. So Blue Water will have the site. Oasis moving very quickly. Shut down, though. Quick shot from Starbound, but trade is in. Bunny Bee responds. And now the finger guns are out. Fast lane goes up, but a little bit too late. And that's enough for Blue Water to keep us tied now at 10.
Really great response there from Blue Water. They invest 2 ultimates into that. You're talking about how Oasis is pushing over towards CT and the trade being perfect there from May. Just really nice communication that you're seeing from the Blue Water side. And that was also 2 investments of alts on the side of WADA as well. So like pretty even across the board when it does come down to that alt economy as we head into round 21. Now WADA kind of shifting the way that they're trying to take control of this space. A very passive hold over towards that C side. They know it's mainly been a KJ lurk, poking and prodding from Sin there, focusing their efforts on the other side of the map.
Flash comes through but doesn't hit Bunny Bee. Huge. So now a Judge is a big problem at this position. Aldrone comes out and tags, but wow, this is a huge force from Blue Otter with a lot of gunfire still coming through the doorways. Avery eventually gets the trade, but that is punishing. 2v3 situation. Post plant going to be on the way. Hunter's Fury still available for Avery, but you would have to assume Blue Otter are likely just going to stay on site here, and so they will.
Yeah, I think I like the idea of taking this garage control, knowing that they don't have anything to cover that flank, and especially with where Starbound is, having that Tool the False online, watching over in C long, WADA have to have a very good read of where these two Blue Water players are playing.
This is taking a lot of time.
Yeah.
And May is going to have perfect timing to wrap around this with the Hunter's Fury to delay the initial plant. Or pardon me, the initial fuse.
Last player standing.
Yeah, they don't even get it to halfway. Yikes. This is not ideal. So, Blue Otter take a late lead. A little technical 1v2 Red Bull clutch for Avery there. Actually, technically 1v3, I guess, depending on the timing of those kills.
That was really perfectly played, though, by Blue Water.
Yeah.
Like, we ought to give them a lot of credit for the for the communication that's going down in that round. Like, they have an understanding that WADA are expecting them to get a little bit aggressive in a 2v3 situation, especially when they don't have control of long. They're just waiting. They're expecting them to push up, but WADA, they don't give them anything, and the timing was just perfect. It's got to be a little bit of a morale buster almost in that round for WADA with how it felt like a round that they should have been able to find that retake with ease.
I mean, I'll be honest here, Ash. A lot of this map, I think you can categorize as Blue Water kind of controlling the identity of a lot of these very pivotal rounds. I mean, they've had a couple of convincing rounds for WADA just based off of gun superiority or like the opening pistol and anti-eco, but we called it early. Blue Water was not getting pushed around in that first half, and they come out looking really solid on the defense, and now Blue Water is controlling how this second half is being played, largely speaking. Attacking lockdown, doesn't look fully. Contain Starbound. Second opportunity will not be missed, but there will be no third. Juna is the one detained. Shakes that off, but the plant will come through.
Spike planted.
And alert, 1v1 maybe here for Sin, and Juna falls, and now all of a sudden all the guns are up. WADA has to flood through garage, but somehow Power Pixel is able to find one for an opener. Little, wow, staggered setup. Oasis just tries to look for timing on the peak. Awkward to be playing. So now it's to the 2v2. WADA have gotten back onto site, but they don't expect that Sin's playing in this corner. Sin? Hello? Sin? Hello? Are we kidding? We didn't get Bunny B off the defuse. Oh no, there have been two critical air rounds for Blue Water. That one may be more important than any.
You definitely know that Sin is kicking herself in that situation. I respect the trigger discipline, but the timing of that smoke going down could not have been worse, and then not being able to find the pull down to ensure that you could guarantee that kill either. Very critical mistakes, like you were saying there. Especially with Bunny being so low, too. Like, you would have expected that the spray should have connected. A timeout to be called by Blue Otter now. I'm sure maybe comms could have gone a little bit more hectic. Maybe looking to ground the team after a round loss like that to bring things back to a tie here, 11-11. But I think that when it comes down to the overall macro of how Blue Otter are approaching these attacking rounds, I can't imagine that they're looking to change anything crazy. It might just be a conversation about some sort of play with that Yoru ultimate that Badison's just one away from getting.
Oh. How pivotal one bullet missing could possibly mean. That was about as perfect as it gets for Blue Otter. But now you find yourself tied at 11. Full weapons, but not full armors. Well, actually, Avery can only afford a stinger, so a weakened economy here for Blue Otter pretty significantly, especially considering there are no ults available yet. Now, if Badison can grab the dimensional drift, maybe swap weapons with Avery, we're dealing with a little bit more damage potential, but that has to come through first and foremost. The opening wall for May, as Power Pixel sweating just a touch. Lobbing a shock dart will be all right. Australis not baited by the decoy, has a freebie, but May still get one. Dropping over. How does Australis get that second one? Breaks the shield, plus gets the headshot, but Avery, the stinger works out. follow-up elimination from Sin is good, and it'll be a 3v2 post-plant scenario for Blue Otter.
They need to win this round to be able to take
Spike
this map.
planted.
Otherwise, it gets so much more dangerous, and their economic situation comes into play. You can't take those ones.
Bunny B down to 6 HP, though, also cannot fall off of heaven here. Juna is seen. 2v2. There's the fast lane. Here comes the quick walk-up. No pre-fire as of
One
yet.
enemy
Poison cloud in
remaining.
the way. Sin able to find the low HP, plus another, and Blue Otter will find themselves on map point.
Heroic round coming out from Sin
Match
there.
point.
Australis was doing everything that she could to maintain control of that A site, getting those 2 picks, just unfortunately not getting the timing and kind of getting caught out with that paranoia in hand. It was so important for Blue Water to get that round win, because otherwise that round 22 loss could have been the downfall of this map. They stay alive for now, though. For WADA, they still have a full buy going into this one. We have a couple stronger ultimates on the side of Blue Otter. A bit more impact with that kill contract and the dimensional drift that you had mentioned previously. Now, Madison's going to be able to fully clear out this A site. Power Pixel looking to reposition into heaven. Call for the fast flood retake here with the flank coming in.
Yeah, Vert's going to read this, though. Kill contract, pulls the neon. Could be a slippery 1v1 inside there. And that's why Bunny B just a little bit too much to handle. Sin responds to Starbound on that pinch. You know that Bunny B is still here, trying to dance with it. Fast lane, keeping Sin's attention, but Madison playing on the A-Link could be huge. Here comes the slide out. Madison doesn't see the initial contact, but still goes 1 for 1. Not bad. Bunny B sprinting across very rapidly. Are you kidding me? What a shot from Bunny B. Avery down. Sin 1v3. Doesn't catch the first, and Bunny B, who was initially trapped by the kill contract, had a contract of their own in mind. It's overtime. 12-12. We're going to go extra.
Really nice call coming out there from WADA. I think that Power
Overtime.
Pixel being able to get off of that site, and then the fact that you had 2 coming in for that flank Starbound, especially being able to get that pick as necessary, was massive. Heading into OT, Glass Cannon Operator, not much of a surprise for Starbound. But the thing is, we weren't really seeing, again, the value that we expected from that op on attack like we typically do from Starbound. That's not to take anything away from them. They are still 24-14. They have had some insane clutch moments. But Blue Water have been very keen to not give those picks away early. They've been very measured in how they're taking those first engagements, and it's been hard for WADA to find the openings that they're typically used to seeing off of that position.
Starbound looking for a blind shot after being tagged up on the cross. Will not connect. Oasis. So unfortunate in the timing. WADA will get first blood, but keep in mind you've got a potential early flank for Madison. Problem is there's a trademark in the way, so May is going to have to go intergalactic here. And wow, catches Juna a little bit sleeping there at Sewers. Huge response, and almost a chance at a different angle on towards A lobby, but no, the shield will break.
It's a one-off shot, though, and it already has WADA running to the other side of the map. Sure, C is relatively open, but there's still a bit of that stall potential with the Nano Swarm here from Sin to buy a bit more time on the rotation here from WADA, with the Owl Drone looking to clear over in mid.
Bunny B disrespects it, just dives through, and then there's the teleport for Australis to help clear the C site for an immediate plant. Avery has a lot of utility, some of it already connecting onto Power Pixel down to 75 health. Here comes the recontest. Decoy. Wow. Follow-up flash. Comes out, but May responds. Kill contract again comes out. This time it's May versus Australis, who wins it with no double tap shield available for May. But already on for a
One
potential
enemy
defuse.
remaining.
We also have Avery on the Odin. We've seen this before, but Australis has the edge and the angle from Cubby to take down both and wanted to have the early angle.
Switching
She's
sides.
been so heroic in some of these rounds, like those pop-off moments. The impact in the picks that Australis is able to get for her team too has been so impressive. Something that we know that she's capable of and have seen for the last couple of years of her competing in Game Changers, repeating those kinds of results in her capabilities today. Blue Water onto the attack. feel like that defensive round in OT was definitely hard for them to lose, considering how much better their defensive side has looked comparatively.
Quick walk up here for Blue Water, and a little bit of spray through the smoke works out. Flash Tuna trying to play the counter angle, not going to work out. May finds the second. Bunny B looking for something on the flank. Neon can be so silly sometimes. That was insane. 3v4 gives the defense a chance. The problem is you cannot allow this post plant to purely stay inside a garage, and Power Pixel finds one. Bunny B able to find a flash, gets a second. Baston in some trouble. Caught in the corner. They should know that Batison's just on the other side of this wall. Oh, but Batison finds two! They can't isolate. So now it's just Power Pixel by themselves. Shotgun to the corner, not going to work out, and Batison will take down all three to tie us up again.
Switching sides.
That was a huge 3K coming out from Batison. Now a second overtime in the bank for these two teams. I'm kind of curious to see if that op's going to come back out here once again for Starbound. Buy has not come in. Maybe a bit of a conversation from the team to see like what direction they want to be taking with that. It will, nonetheless, first time out of overtime to be called here on the Blue Otter side. Got an Odin in the hands of Avery here as well. Kind of curious to see like what they're going to look to switch up, because we've seen a lot of different iterations shift of how Blue Otter want to manage that defense, right? There's been like the walk-ups towards a lobby. You've had changes in position, some mid-fights going on early as well. And it does come down to, again, not giving that pick too early, because those flood retakes have been so strong from Blue Otter. Kind of curious what the conversation is like here in that camp.
All we can do is speculate at this point. Timeout close to expiring, and we will see if the defense, which had largely won out either of the two halves, or both of the two halves, I should say, can come to life. Starbound going to stick onto the op because, of course, they are. Avery back onto the Odin, as they had been in the previous overtime defense opportunity.
I like this change, though. Last time around, we saw it was Oasis over in A short, right? Trying to disrespect Juno's wall, not allow her to get that lurk off comfortably. But the change over to it being May makes all of, or Batison at that, both of them, makes all of the difference so that Oasis can smoke a bit more comfortably on that B site.
First time we've really seen this kind of a stack for Blue Otter at Sewer. The WADA, as we've seen in their first half, have been very primed and ready to re-clear out A, just due to the fact that they really haven't given it much early contest.
Sin's able to get out, though, with this positioning. They're happy to give up this C site, give up Garage as well, knowing their strength is in that retake utility.
Sin keeps their life. WADA very silently will take the C site.
Spike planted.
And Starbound, yep, is watching the crossing angle to make sure no one rotates through B. That's where first blood will come through.
No peeking.
Maintaining this garage control is so important.
Recon Bolt not going to reveal much inside the site. Because, like you said, garage is the main focal point for this post plant. Quick teleport on for Blue Otter with Batison committing to the site. Smoke down over the top of the spike. Yuna. Oh, good reveal behind this, but only finds a little bit of damage. Sin's able to find one. Avery another, but WADA still finding a lot of time involved, and there's the last needed little bit of Bastion, as Batison could really only do so much inside the smoke. WADA keep us all offense here in the overtime. Another edge to them.
Starbound's positioning over in mid was so important. Being able to catch that rotation from B, a lot more comfortable for Blue Water to set up into that post plant. Or sorry, for WADA to set up into that post plant, making it awkward for Blue Water in the retake. Looks like Blue Water are going to be mainly focused towards this mid control here, but you're also going to be facing up against a Bunny Bee who's been absolutely deadly when it comes down to those relay bolts and that ability to delay.
That is some tasty spam if you're a WADA fan. A little bit of damage tallied across the board. Blue Water will still get on the B though. Follow-up spam through garage, not really going to connect for much. Another post-plant fight. We'll have to rage in towards grass. Bunny Bee, no antics this time. Power Pixel just trying to spam. Battison beats the angle, takes down 2. And we may be primed for another overtime. Especially with Judah dropping 2v5. Not looking likely with the time that's coming through.
Especially not with that tag on Starbound now from that Owl drone. The wrap back through C-Link is impossible.
Should be.
Last player standing.
And it will be. Wow. Okay. We go again. This could be a long evening of Valorant if this keeps up between these two teams.
Overtime.
I gotta say though, Shift, that was a really funky round in the garage.
Correct.
The spams that were going down there from Power Pixel, a bit over committed on the LMG on the Odin. I think on defense now though, Blue Water, they've done some really good conditioning up against WADA. Knowing that they have historically tried to contest that short walk up there for Juna. It's been a lot more uncomfortable for her since then. Once again, denied. Avery with the reveal there as well. May have been shut down, but it just makes it really awkward. They don't have that timing. Instead now contacting over at C where you've got a really deadly crossfire set up here.
Aldrone. We'll see Battison. Bunny Bee tries to dive over the top of it, but a good response to get out of dodge, and May is right there to pick up 2. Sin another. Can Blue Water finally take the edge in the overtimes? Feels likely. 5v2 again with Starbound and Judah, the last 2 surviving.
There's no way they're able to get it. Like, the full push here from Blue Water, the flood was so good, and I think the main thing that I want to touch on that round there, Shift, is Blue Water has been doing God's work when it comes down to baiting for May to get some of these picks. Like, I feel like we've seen so many rounds, and it's not just Battison. There have been times where it's been Oasis, it's been Sin, it's been Avery as well, like being in some positions where they're looking to be that first engagement, and May is either on some sort of off angle trying to catch them out or going for some sort of wrap to ensure that that trade can come through. It's been really nice to see those micro plays coming in, but another overtime match point here for Blue Water. Going to pull out that last time out now of this first map in our best of 5 series. WADA want to have a conversation of how they can keep this first map pick of theirs going.
Have to get a defense, of course. And as you see in the timeline, defense has been absent here in this overtime spree. And it's tough to put a finger on what do you really need to fix if you're WADA. I mean, honestly, they've just been caught by surprise in this overtime a little bit. I mean, the hit towards B, hadn't really seen too much of that. And I don't know. It's just, you also look across the board. It's like they're slaying right in the mix. But I don't know. It's hard to put a finger on what exactly what did I need to be doing here to try to change things up. Maybe showing a little bit of early aggression. Like, I just feel like we haven't seen too much of that in particular, but
yeah, it's really hard to say, I think, because it's not like these two teams have not been making adjustments. Like, they've been adapting throughout this entire first map so far on both ends. And a lot of those rounds aren't even coming out to, like, huge, like, macro mistakes. It's been micro moments of getting caught off guard, like you were saying.
Full rundown. Juna, how much can you grab? Wall gives Juna a lot to play off of here, actually. Steps up and takes down a couple, plus a reveal on to sit in the corner. Oh, mercy. Australis right there to help. But Oasis responds. 3 for them. Are you kidding? Just when you thought that it was going to be WADA off of Juna's solid hold, now WADA have to battle up against the extra life from Oasis after their third. But you need to get a little bit of damage, and the running is happening. Can you find one in the corner? No, not quite. But info for Avery to try to find the 1v2. Not going to play off the spike. And WADA are going to re-walk down through grass. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, it seems to be a read that it was an A push, though, instead.
30 seconds left.
So it should still be free for Avery to get this spike planted. But now, with that lack of tap sound over on the other side of the map, got to smoke over towards long here as well. I like how WADA are playing this. Honeybee and Pixel looking to continue to play together in this 1v2. It should be really hard for Avery to find the picks necessary.
Unless you line them with some spam. That recon bolt will give you just about all the info you need as far as where is this coming from. Honeybee will hop on. You hear the footsteps in the jump from Power Pixel. There's a spam in the corner, but Honeybee responds, and they do get the defense they need. 15 to 15. Clean the slate. Go again.
We thought that with that defensive round being picked up there from the side of Blue Otter, we were like, okay, maybe the first to get the defense round in is going to be able to take it home, but really nice adjustments coming out there on the side of WADA. Heroics from Juna, backside of that C site, able to get 2, but Oasis trying to turn that tide. Now, as we head into this 31st round of Haven, saw the Odin spam over towards window. Double walk down push here from Blue Otter. Prone to clear that out is really nicely done.
Yeah, this is tough. They just kind of has to pick their battle here. And it's a bold idea. It does not work out. 5v3 early, WADA a huge advantage. Should have the map in front of them here to play with. Aldrone keeping things interesting, and Sin has been seen, and that will be an instant trade.
Yeah, you were talking about maybe changing things up with a bit of that aggression, but the re-clear really nicely done there by WADA. Avery is going to need to get a pick or 2 on site. It's not going to happen. WADA look to clean up to get that match point onto their side here. One more round to be able to take their map pick home. It's been a grueling first map to start off this lower finals shift. And if this is any sign of what the remainder maps are to look like going forward. But it's been really good Valorant. You know, like...
It has been. It really has been.
The macro plays have been really nice from both these teams. We've had hero moments from them as well.
Yeah, that's what Oh, Starbound getting aggressive caught. I was about to say, like, it's hard to think through these timeouts. Like, what are the things that are going wrong? It's just been a couple of great individual moments that have allowed these rounds to come through. And another one comes out there in terms of an individual moment. Sin finding the better of Starbound at mid. Has Blue Otter considering that same offensive look into mid again. Avery, Aldrone, Juna in some trouble. Deals with it. Paranoia to deter any follow-up action and a snake bite. But now you take your focus over to Australis. Smoke will fade. Oh, and he catches one right through the decoy. Follow-up from Bunny B on the pinch may have us looking at a nail into the coffin. But this play through B is going to mean that Judah's in a 1v2 for right now. There's the swing. Baddison able to connect. Bunny B quick on the hunt. Can't find the timing. 2 versus 2. And you're going to give the spike to Baddison for the dimensional drift. Reveal is out. You find her before she can go into the dimensional drift to the 1v1. Bunny B quick on the corner. No! What a shot from Avery! Bunny B was trying to play off the power of Neon, and Avery shuts it down.
Overtime.
Incredibly done there by Blue Otter. I mean, that pivot over towards the C site, really nicely read in that 2v3 situation. And they were drawing out some really good utility in garage as well, like denying any further stalling power from WADA. Starbound going down early in that moment, not just because of like the early information they're always good for finding, but the fact that that trip is also no longer in play makes things just so much more awkward for WADA.
How about this? Different look. Glass cannon for Sin with the op connects for first blood. That's Bunny Bee off the table. So how do you set up the rest of this offensive round with no neon?
Yeah, it gets really uncomfortable. Bunny Bee has been such like a key component of those executions here for WADA with the space that she's able to take. Oasis gets away with her life. So no way to equalize those numbers quite yet. Looks like they're trying to pivot over towards this A site with the fact that Juna's been able to scale up long. The thing is, despite that mid presence, again, it being a 5v4 makes it really comfortable for Battison and Avery to continue to maintain this A presence.
Well, trade happens over the top of this A site. Blue Oasis and the rest of Blue Water looking clean. Battison will flash out, but countered by Australis initially. Starbound to the corner, able to connect, but May right there with it. Overwhelms, and Blue Otter will take the edge now 17-16.
Match point.
You got to think about how tiring long maps are like this to like start off a series, right? I know for some teams it can be invigorating, but for others it can also be a little bit draining. It kind of just depends on the day. Regardless, that operator, again, back into the hands of Starbound. This is something that we expect. The last time we saw WADA on defense, it was that mid-peak that immediately got punished. It looks like we're seeing maybe a wide swing through window. Instead, it'll be the drone to start things off. I don't know if it actually spotted Starbound on the off angle.
Hard to tell. Power Pixel takes a little bit of damage and some trouble, needs help. Smoke not going to get there in time to stop things. Now you've got Bunny Bee running into the site, trying to hang out, but Blue Otter have the numbers, and it'll leave Starbound by themselves. Lurk is here for Sin as well. Just down to the timing of when the peak actually happens. Starbound very aware this could be a potential play, but May will finish things off, and it took a year and a half, but Blue Otter will steal away map number 1. WADA's pick of Haven and take the early edge in this best of 5. Holy cow. Yeah, holy cow. What a start.